What's going on? It's D-May, already know. Bringing to you some NBA 2K13. Now, I want to get my first impressions real quick. First off, shout out to Shakedown, Same Demeanor, Smitty D, Luke. We was all in a party earlier this morning waiting for this demo to drop. We couldn't wait to play it. And of course there's the good things about it, but it was also some things, I noticed that can probably be addressed. We just have to see what they want to do, what the devs want to do. But let me go ahead and get into this. First off, the momentum in the collision system, they're great. You see a lot of fouls, a lot more. Unlike in 2K12, where sometimes it seems like they call the foul for no reason. This new collision system is crazy. Especially when you dunk on somebody. You see D-Wade just dunk on KD. It kind of like he doesn't get sucked into an animation. KD doesn't do that thing where he takes a charge in a restricted zone. He got dunked on because he tried to jump up there with me, and he got beasted backwards. That's what I like about this game. Another thing is the soundtrack. Jay-Z was the executive producer of this game, and he did a good job on his soundtrack. And I also heard that he had a hand in the design of the game. I'm loving the design of this game with all the gold and the different colors. So I'm definitely digging that. Now let's talk about the control stick. Now I'm loving the control stick. Like I said, I'm not mastering it yet. Sometimes I'll be on a fast break, running straight out of bounds because I'm pulling the stick to the right, expecting him to dunk it, and he doesn't. So I still gotta get that under control. But it's kind of annoying. Simply because, when some people use the control stick, they basically just spam it up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. And you really don't know, they really don't know what they're doing. And sometimes it's hard to guard them. I'll get into that later. But that's just an annoying part of the control stick. But besides that, if you're playing with a person that's playing like Sim, it's a fun, addition to NBA 2K. The control stick, it's just nice. That's all you can really say about it. And another thing is, they finally put in a game where you can select who you want to oop to. I don't know how many times in NBA 2K12, LeBron would be on my left, D-Wade be on my right. It'll be better if I pass the ball to LeBron, but he passed the ball to D-Wade for some reason. So 2K13, you can point the left stick to the person you want to oop to, and they'll oop it to him. That's hot. Another thing, the online. I know a lot of people said they were lagging, but for me, I only lagged about once or twice. Me playing a 2K game, that's really rare to not lag. I only lagged a couple times, and even when I did lag, I could just quit out the game. So server improvements, it does look like they improved on the servers, and I know it's kind of early to tell, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people got this demo. I'm not sure how many downloads they were at. I should have checked, but a lot of people are playing online, and it wasn't lagging that much for me, at least. You have to let me know, and if you have PS3, let me know how that's going for you too, because I'm really interested in how PS3 is going. Spacing on the court. Now this is hard to explain because it seems the same, but it's different. Shakedown was telling me about this. When he came back from Team Up, the community Team Up. I really don't know how to put it. I guess it's because, when you pass the ball to like LeBron or D-Wade or Kevin Durant, everybody goes to the other side of the court. Nobody's getting in your way. Steph Lotion isn't cutting in between you and your defender, knocking the ball loose. They let you isolate, and that just makes the spacing on the court seem a lot better. The AI is really smart on NBA 2K13, so they definitely stepped their game up. Now, a few cons I want to talk about. Like I said, it's not really any gameplay stuff. Only a couple of them are gameplay stuff. But online, I noticed that sometimes they don't let you go for a jump ball. I don't know what that's about. It's not the lag. They just, I press the button. I don't jump late. They just don't let me jump at all. I don't know if the devs need to look into that. They probably already know about it thanks to Twitter. They reach out a lot. So, yeah, they don't let you go for jump balls. And also, when you push start in the online quick match, it doesn't let you unpause. Now, it was one of the weird times when I actually had to pause the game, but when I tried to unpause it, I couldn't. And this happened more than once. It happened with me, and my opponent did it also. He'll press start, and we'll both have the dashboard because we couldn't unpause the game. I don't know what that's about, but hopefully the devs look into that also. Now, this is going around on Twitter. You know, they already said this was getting fixed by the devs, but I just want to put this out anyways because it was a problem I noticed, to where you could push a person out of bounds and it wouldn't be a foul call. Now, that happened a lot of times, but you know, devs already know about that. I'm not going to elaborate on it because I know they're fixing it. One thing we need to check out is the outlet passing. You know, it seems like it's back to 2K12, not even 2K12, my fault, 2K10, where you could just throw the ball all the way down court and they'll catch it. Now 2K, when it first comes out, they always have this balancing problem, you know, the outlet passes, so they can easily adjust this. And also I need to check if the people making the passes have that signature skill where they start the fast break, so I also need to check that. Another thing is the defense. Now I know they said on-ball defense will be better this year, but for me it's still the same. You know, it's still kind of slow. I don't know if it's something I need to get used to, but it just seems really slow, like I'm in quicksand. When people are spamming that control stick, you can't stay in front of them. You know, even if you back up a little bit, they end up going, you know, left to right, you know, making 90-degree cuts in 0.3 seconds, you know. So I don't know if I just need to get used to the defense, but for now I'm still playing off-ball defense because I can't play on-ball defense, you know, especially when I'm guarding Russell Westbrook. Man, that dude is quick. And as of lately, you know, I've been kind of annoyed playing randoms online because there is still no penalty for spamming the X button or the square button, aka the steal button. People just steal all the way up and down the court. It's annoying, but I'm not sure what 2K can really do about that. You know, we have to figure something out, but just spamming the S button all game, you know, that shouldn't be flying around here, you know. But overall, 2K13 is a great game. I'm loving it. Round of applause to 2K. We'll see how the retail version is, but for the demo, it's pretty nice.